everyone. It's Rambling Hour with Lisa, season 11, episode 9. I hope everybody is well, that you've had a good week. Welcome to another live. So we've had rainy weather here the last few weeks, and of course the sun's out now. So that's why I'm indoors, because I just can't trust the weather, and it's supposed to be raining all day today. But of course, when I'm doing other things, it just is sunny out when I could be gardening. But what can you do? It's chilly as well. It's not as hot as it is in Canada and where Italy is having a heat wave and stuff right now too. But so yeah, it's a bit chilly sitting here with the doors open, but that's all right. We'll be fine. How is everyone? What are you up to? I'm really excited about today's live because I have a guest. So I'll just wait for that guest to start watching, and then we'll add them to the chat. And yeah, so I'm excited to have guests. I haven't had guests for a long time on here, and I have not had this guest before, so I'm very excited about it. Just gonna move that over. I can show you this beautiful alocasia that I bought, and it is got a brand new leaf. This big boy leaf right here is its latest leaf that's grown since I bought it, and I'm really happy with it. It stays in the upstairs bathroom. It's got like purple undersides, but it's very gorgeous. So especially with a nice big new leaf, meaning it likes where it lives. So that is what I'm using as my display today, as well as this little table that I leave in the upstairs bathroom as well. And I'm excited. We still haven't booked the Tyler, but I am excited about getting the bathroom downstairs finished as well. So what else have I been up to this week? I just, I don't remember. Let's see. Okay, so I did the grocery shopping on Monday instead of Tuesday, because on Tuesday, Steve had to get his windshield repaired on his vehicle, so I went with him. So we went to Cheshire, that's where we live. We went to Chester, which is the capital of Cheshire. And yeah, we went to Chester for the day. And then, I tried to be in the garden as much as I could, obviously. But with the rain, it was on and off, so I did a lot of the housework as well because I wasn't able to be outside when it was raining. I could put on a raincoat and be outside, but it's just not the same. And then last night, me and Steve went to Mission Impossible. We went to the late show. Started after 11, so we got home at 3 in the morning. I guess it's part 1 of this latest Mission Impossible, and it's good. It's not that it's not good, but there's another Mission Impossible. I don't know which one it is, but it was a while ago, and it was my favorite. I really liked that one. So this one isn't as good as the one that I liked before, but it's still a good movie. Yeah, so okay, so I was getting ready, trying to wear something different. I'm wearing this that I've never wore before. And when I went to iron it, if you're Canadian, this stupid iron, put this black stuff on it, which will probably, I don't even know if you can see it, but it made these black lines and put this stuff on, and it should come out in the wash. But then I noticed too, not that you guys care, but on this side, there's a stain right here too, so I gotta try and get that out. I'm not saying this shirt is new, it's not new. I've had it for years in the summer stuff. I just haven't worn it, so I've tried to wear something different. I did it, and I'm wearing jeans with it. So this is my outfit for today on the Rambling Hour. Mom says, "Hi, Lisa." Hi, Mama. Hope everybody is doing well. What else? Lena's lying right there on her bed. So, and coming up this week, I don't know what we have planned. I just hope that we can see Jackson soon, our little grandson. Oh, I brought Erica to see Tyla today, so I got to see Samantha and her 3 kids, Tyla, Danielle, and baby Spencer. I say baby Spencer. He's over a year old now, but he's still a little baby. But he's a cutie. But I don't miss having little kids at home every day. it'd be different if, say I was babysitting Jackson or something like that. But to do it again, to have a whole house full of little ones every day, and you're the parent. I babysat my whole life, from when I was 13, as much as I could. So at any age, I used to babysit on top of babysitting. I think I've told you guys this. So I babysit this people's kids and these people's kids at the same time, and just do whatever, take them to the park or whatever I could do, right? It was a way to make money, but I also love kids. So when I went to have my own kids, it just honestly felt like I was babysitting, but the parents were just never coming to pick up their kids. I was like, when are they getting here? Because I'm exhausted. Still feels a little bit that way too. Like a little bit of a group home here with all these teenagers. Like, why isn't the government paying me to raise some people's children? I'm just kidding. But I do love the kids, and I would do it again, probably, if I had it over to do. But I don't want to do it a second time. So that's my thinking. But that's not to scare anybody from having kids if that is your plan, if you don't have kids already. So, like I said, I'm excited about today's Rambling Hour for today's guest. And I'm just waiting for them to tune in, and then I can add them. We didn't practice this, so we'll see how it goes. They said they're using their phone, so I could just take my hair down. Yeah, I even did my hair for today's live. Not dry yet, but so let's see. Summer is like, okay, so it's like July 16th. Like, July's half over. Summer just goes too fast all the time. And it's weird here because the kids in school, well, only Erica left for us because Aurora was in college and she's done now. But school, they are until mid-July, so they only get 6 weeks off instead of 8 weeks like in Canada or whatever. It seems like a big difference, but it's really not, is it? 2 weeks. They get those later on in the year with holidays, so it's not like they get more or less holidays. It's just works out. Anyways, my point is that Erica still has a week of school. And well, Thursday I think is her last day, and then she's out of school. But it just feels to me like summer is like, and I know that we have nice weather in September, even maybe October, November. Like I get that we have nice weather, but it's still like it just goes too fast. And then especially in the garden, because now is the time in the garden when everything should be planted, and you should just be like fertilizing or enjoying watching things. And I'm talking about flowering plants and stuff like that. For here, vegetables and stuff, there's things you can start at different times of the year. Even like lettuce and stuff like that. Here, every few weeks, you'll want. I don't do this. This is what I would do if I was to do it. You can start new batches of lettuce every few weeks. 1 second. I don't know if this goes off my live, but just pause with me because it's on my. It's my guest, and she's just messaging me, so I have to message back. Sorry about that if I cut out. It was just my guest was messaging me to figure out how to do this, and so they will be coming on right away, which is exciting. Anyways, I was saying, like, now is the time that you should just be able to enjoy the garden and watch it grow, and yeah, so I am pretty much caught up, and I'm at that point for the most part, but there's still, there's always stuff to do, but I can't, I don't know if you can see it, but I have a really bad bruise right here. I smashed my finger, pinched under a big piece of, what's it called? Slate. All right, so my guest is on. I am going to bring them on video. Okay, it says adding. So I'm very excited. Okay, so I grew up with, in my community, there is a girl named Salila, and we didn't go to school together because she went to public school. I went to Catholic school. Public is like for anybody. And Karen Miller says, hi. Hi, Karen. But I went to Catholic school, but we still knew each other. We still hung out sometimes and stuff, but we didn't go to school together, but we were the same age and everything. And she thought that because me and this guest were very happy people who like to inspire others, that she would that we would be good friends. So I have only been friends with her on Facebook so far. So this is our first time actually talking in person too. So everybody welcome Hazel.
Hi everyone.
Hi Hazel.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. The kids are calm upstairs for a minute, so I hope it stays like that.
Okay, so I wonder, you're on this side of my phone, but my camera's on that side, so I'll be looking at you, but I don't know which way. It's like trying to get you closer to the. My mom says hi. You can see the comments as well, probably.
Okay. Yeah, I do.
So if anyone gives you comments, sorry, now I'm petting a doggy. The puppy just came to go outside. Sasha, go. So what are you doing today?
The usual grocery shopping today. Sunday's usually our grocery shop. So I just finished my workout. My husband had to run out and just see his accountant. So and then when he gets back, we'll just do some grocery shopping. It's going to be our Costco run today because yesterday we always do two. We always do like a Walmart run for like the snacks and the little things, and then the Costco is usually the meats and like the sandwiches. It's the bigger stuff because it's a big family. I don't know if you know, I have like 6 kids, right?
Yes,
So
I know. Yeah, I haven't told everybody else that, but I know you have 6. So did you have the 2 older ones? Did you have 2 and then another 4 on top of that, or?
Yeah. So the two older ones are from my first marriage. So that's why there's a huge age gap, and then
Sasha,
the 4 younger ones.
Sorry, the dog's taking stuff out of the bin. Go. Out. You can see her there.
Oh. But
sorry.
yeah.
So yes, you had 2 from the first marriage, and you've been with your husband now. I saw that it's just your 9-year anniversary, yesterday.
Exactly. So we're going on 10 years, and then we have the other 4 with them, and there's a set of twins in there too. So.
Yeah. So you had. So were the first pregnancies easy enough, and then you had some trouble conceiving? Because I know you did IVF, right?
I did. Well, the story is, so I had the first 2, and after when my daughter was born, I was like, I'm good. I don't want any more kids. I'm good. And so I really convinced my OB to give me a tube tied. I tied my tubes, right? So I was like, I don't know. I'm so good. Like, he's like, okay, well, it's kind of here, whatever, just do it. So we did it. Then we got divorced, right? So life happens, right? We get divorced, and then a few years later, I meet my husband now, Oscar, and he knew I already had my tubes tied. And I'm like, I don't know if I want kids and stuff like that. And then it just like, I kind of do, right? So I talked to my doctor, and they said, well, you can either go, because are you in the States or are you in Canada? I wasn't sure exactly where you're at.
I'm in the UK, but I am from Canada. I'm from Edmonton.
Oh, okay. That's what I was thinking too. Okay, so and then you know how Alberta Health doesn't cover IVF, so and then they don't also cover reversals.
Right.
So once you get your tube-sided tubes, that's part of Alberta Health. But if you get reversed, it's not covered. So he said to me, it's going to cost you the same. So you can go through IVF, which is the more likely you'll get pregnant, than go through the reversal, and there's a less chance of pregnancy because you've already had it for a couple of years and your tubes and stuff like that. So we just went through IVF.
They go in, harvest your eggs, fertilize them, and then put them into your uterus.
Yeah, well, we froze them. Yeah, we did froze them.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Because I'm older now. I'm 44, and I'll be 45 in October. But technically, I still have all my working equipment. But yeah, my story is like I wanted 6 kids, and I do now have 6, including my stepkids. But always, since I was a kid, I always said I wanted 6 kids, and people thought I was crazy. I'm like, no, I want 6. I want like 10 or 20, but 6 at least, right? Like I just wanted. We had 4 growing up, like, and then my little sister had a friend who was like part of our family too. So like we call her our adopted sister. Sorry, the puppy's back. That's, you can see the nose sticking. So I knew I wanted more than that, like a big family, but more than that. But my pregnancies were horrible. But every pregnancy is different, as you know. So I was like, okay, well, I'll try again. And then the second one was even worse. And then the third one was, I didn't want to die, but I didn't want to kill myself, but I didn't want to be alive. Like, it was that bad. Like, if I had to live that way for the rest of my life, it wasn't living. I was not, the doctor didn't say I was bedridden, but I was so exhausted that I couldn't do anything but stay in bed. I would just lie, like the baby sucked everything out of me. She was healthy, but she just took everything. I thought I looked good, but now I look at pictures and my cheekbones are sinking in, and like I was so ill every day, just ill and exhausted. You know that way you feel when you have the flu, where you just can't even lift your arms? You just feel, it was like that. It was just horrible. So it's like, I can't do this again. I'm not going to put me through this again. I'm not going to put my family through this again. So because and it was my 3rd C-section, which is because I had low amniotic fluid. So because they were in there already, I said tie my tubes. So I got my tubes tied at 29 because I already that was my 3rd, and I didn't ever want to go through that again. But then I still did the same thing because, I wanted more kids. I wanted more kids. I didn't want more pregnancies. But I was like, and then you're like, but my equipment still works. And yeah, so I went through that. But then Steve is 15 years older than me, my husband. And when we got together, his youngest was 12 turning 13. And mine was 10 when we got here. Well, she must have been, yeah, she was 10 when we got here, almost 11, because they're only a couple of years apart.
Okay.
So now they're 19 and he's 21, but he'll be 22 in October. So, so I started where he left off. So he thought he was done being a parent. And then I brought a 10, an 8, and a 6-year-old here. So, but now our 6-year-old is 15. So we're,
wow.
Yeah. And I know yours are still little. So how old are yours all together?
So my oldest boy is 19. Then I have a girl that's, she'll be 18 next month. And then the 4 boys are 6, 20-year-old 4-year-old twins. And then my baby's going to be 1 next month. So,
right.
And then it's tough because sometimes I'm just like, my husband, I'm like, I've done this before. You can do it. Like I'm exhausted. Like there's certain things you're just exhausted, right? And you don't think, you could do it again, and then you do it again, and it's kind of like riding a bike again, right? So it's
like sorry. It's like the pregnancies, like anything like hard or bad, they'll say, oh, how did you do it? It's like, but you just do it because you have to do it, and you don't have a choice. Plus you're just going to get through it. It doesn't mean it's all enjoyable or like it's not exhausting, but you do it.
Yeah, I'm lucky. Well, my pregnancies have been so well. Like I haven't had any issues, so I'm so lucky. And I have had some C-sections as well because my 6-year-old, it wasn't progressing, and they're like, it was my first C-section, and they're like, okay, it's been 5 hours and you're still at same, but we need to get him out. And it's scary, when you like, I was so scared. I was like, I don't want a C-section because you just think of all the horrors. You don't know what to do, what's going to happen, But
my sister was scared. My older sister, after I had 3 C-sections, she was having her second baby. But because her first one had such a big head and they had to use forceps and stuff, they should have had a C-section with him because he was so big. She was 3 days in labor. His head was so big, had to use forceps. Like it was like, it wasn't good. So the next time she got pregnant, they said, if he has like a head circumference like the last one, we're just going to do a C-section. And she was terrified. Like you said, she was thinking of all these things. I said, Mel, I've done it 3 times. It's not that big of a deal. It's 15 minutes. They're in, they're out, and then you're in recovery. It's not a big deal. But she worked herself up so much about like how scary it could be. And yes, it is actually technically massive stomach surgery or major stomach surgery, but it didn't bother me. I guess I've always had good, like I was in the hospital when I was like, well, I guess when I was 1, but I don't remember that one. But when I was 4, I had an operation. I don't know. I've showed people before. I don't know if you can see, there's like somewhere on my neck, there's an X.
Oh, okay.
Can you see it on the screen?
Yeah.
There's a scar there, and there's one here. I say they're my Frankenstein bolts, or my Frankenstein bolts were, but when I was 4, I had to go in for an operation. They took lymph nodes out, because I guess my lymph nodes stuck out a lot, and I had tonsillitis a lot and stuff too, so they wanted to test them. But they were fine. I was fine. But I remember being in the hospital, and it was a good experience. I had fun in there, and it was like, I remember getting lollies, what suckers in Canada we call them, and like it was a good, so I think it's like partly like that. I had good experiences, so I trusted the hospital. I felt good. I knew I was healthy, and it was a planned C-section, so I wasn't in labor for hours and then having to go in. Yeah,
like, I did all the work.
With the second one, I was like that. I was the contractions started when I was in a movie theater the night before. And I was like, nah, this is Braxton Hicks. I'm watching this movie. I'm not going anywhere. And it just kept going. And it started in the back, and then it would like wrap around.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, it's fine. And then finally, when I got home, and then 1 a.m, I'm like, okay, so Allison, my first one, she was stuck sideways, and like she was stuck on I thought she just liked it there, but she was actually stuck. And she was Frank breech, which is bum first, because she was stuck. So that was why it was a planned C-section. I had to get a C-section. Plus, I had low amniotic fluid. So then the second one, because you've had a C-section already, they say that the second one, well, you can try for VBAC. So we did, but it was the same thing. I went at 1 a.m, and because I had low amniotic fluid, if my contractions were 10 minutes apart or less, I had to go in the hospital. So I went, and I was having contractions all night. And I'm guessing they were minor contractions. Like they would start and I would be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then it would like subside. And I was like, oh my God, if this is minor contractions, I don't want to experience like major ones. But it was like 7 in the morning when my doctor came in and he like, I remember he had like big orange juice and he looked like all fresh, shower clean, like a tie on and everything. And he's like, thanks for showing up. And I was like, me? But he's a funny guy. Like even when I had my first one, he's like ready to like do the incision. And he's like, I have the instruction book right here. You know, he's just that kind of guy. But I didn't dilate at all. So I was contracting all night, didn't dilate at all. So they're like, they couldn't wait anymore.
They're just like, you have to, yeah.
Yeah. And then the third one was automatic.
Yeah. And I do find because of the age gap, raising kids now is completely, not complete, but it's different, right? I find myself like 19 years ago, there wasn't all these digital devices and like Google this and Google that and this competitive of good mom, bad mom kind of thing.
Wait, what?
I do
this
find
good mom, bad mom stuff.
Yeah, like,
I don't know. What is that? What is
just
I don't know what you're talking.
like
Huh?
I just like just being a mom, you know, and there's people who are like, oh, you're being a bad mom because your kids are watching their iPad,
you mean
or you know what
everybody has an
like
opinion and somewhere
their opinions, right?
Right.
And so, like, I do find that it's hard raising, like it's tougher raising kids now than it was 20 years ago. Like even myself, like I've done this already, but here I am Googling, oh, well, really, oh, it might be this, right?
Yeah.
And I've done it already, so I don't know.
Isn't it weird how it can change so much in 20 years?
Yeah.
Especially with technology. So my biological ones are the same age as your oldest one. So Allison will be 20 in January, and Aurora just turned 18. Yeah. So we started parenting at the same time. Yeah. And I have a friend like that too who had 3. She had her first when she was 17, and then later she had 2 with her first husband. So that's 3. And then they separated and everything, and then she met her husband now, and they have 3. I was like, what do you do? Oh my God, you started again. So she has 6 as well, but and so her youngest is he was a baby when we went to Canada. So that was like 4 years. So he's about 5 or 6, her youngest. So same as, and I love it. But I'm glad I'm not glad I had bad pregnancies, but the thing is, if I would have had good pregnancies, I would not have known when to stop. I'd have been one of those people with 27 and counting.
Yeah.
And then because you think when you have the first one, you think, oh yeah, I can do this. This is all right. I can do this. So you have another one and you're like, yeah, this is fine. And then you don't realize that they grow up, you don't get rid of them. They just keep, it's so many years.
Well, they're 20 and they're still in the house. You're just like trying to fit them. But yeah. And what made you move to the UK? Husband or just?
No, I fell in love with the Englishman, but I met him in Ontario.
Okay.
And yeah, and so but I told him, I said, it's obviously not meant to be because I'm not moving. So, but his kids are older, so like I said, when we first got here, they were 13, and then his 2 older were 21, and then now they're going to be 23, 22, and 31, I guess. So 20, I don't know, 22, I can't remember. So yeah, the oldest 2 are 31 right now.
Oh, okay.
And then Thomas is, so his kids were older and mine were younger. And mine, their biological dad wasn't really involved in their life anymore. He just, it's not my choice. He just wasn't.
Yeah.
So it was if he had been in their life, I would have never took him away from them. But he wasn't. So it made it easier to make the choice for me to come here, for all of us to be together. Plus, like I say, with Thomas being 12, if Steve would have chose me in Canada over his son, then he wouldn't have been the man for me, because you can always find a different partner, but kids cannot find different parents. So but so it was a better choice all around. I had sold the restaurant that I had as well, so I had nothing, no commitments. Yeah. Whereas Steve had 2 businesses. Well, he still does. And so if we moved to Canada, then he would have had to start over again. And like I said, he's older than me, so it just made more sense for all of us to be here. And in my head, I was thinking, oh yeah, okay, so Thomas is 12 turning 13, so 5 years, he'll be 18. He can decide if he wants to go to Canada here, whatever, then I can go back to Canada, it'll be fine. Yeah. Not thinking the girls are going to start having a life here. They're going to want to, now I'm like, oh yeah, I'm stuck here. It's not that bad, but it's not Canada. Yeah. Although it's so expensive there now. I cannot believe the prices you guys have on stuff.
yeah. Like certain things are just like, they raise it like dollar here, $2 there, 50 cents there, but like, yeah, I think a grapes was like $8. I'm like, $8 for goddamn grapes? Like,
I know, that's what I mean. Like, just so many things that I can't. I used to say when I lived there, you, Samantha just wrote stuck
yeah,
here.
it was
Hey,
like, yeah. Yeah.
Samantha, you make it all better. Oh, hang on, I haven't even read all these comments. Hang on. Let's see where. Okay, so mom said hi. Auntie Diane said hi. Lydia, that is. Donna is watching with me. She says hi. That's my auntie's friend. And I think Lydia
Oh,
is your friend
yeah,
because she says hola.
think so. Yeah.
And Samantha says hello.
Go sit with Papa.
Yeah, I don't remember. Oh, no, because, okay, I
Yeah, go
used
with
to say
Papa.
that. I don't know how people live in the UK. It's so expensive there and everything
Yeah.
else. And then now when I look back, I'm like, oh my God, I don't think I could afford to live back at home even if I wanted to. Samantha says, you can go. I don't care. I'm not crying. I'm not
But
leaving you,
yeah.
Samantha.
So what is your guys' bills like a grocery
Well,
like a grocery bill? Like it's
oh,
or
well, I mean,
but then
the
the
thing is,
conversion and then yeah.
I kind of do like $1 per pound. Like it's
Oh,
kind of, like if I was to get, go to a pop machine and get like a bottle of pop, like say like one of those, like, I don't remember, like 600 mils. I don't know what it is. Like a small
yeah.
bottle of pop would be like £1.25. So
Okay.
maybe that would be like $1.25 for you guys.
Oh,
But
okay.
how much would
Okay.
that be in a machine right now?
Like a
Like
can? Like 2.25, like at a vending
a
machine.
can?
Like you could spend like $2, 2.25. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Right. So
That's okay. So I buy cheap pop. Because, okay, I love Coca-Cola, but when you buy cheap like no name pop, it doesn't taste the same.
yeah,
But this
that
brand that
tastes.
we buy, it tastes so good, and it's called like Coke Zero. So that's what I'm always drinking is pop. But the 2 liter bottles that we buy are 49p, as opposed to if I wanted to get a 2 liter bottle of Coca-Cola, it would probably be about 250.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
how much would a 2 liter bottle
Like a
be for
two
you?
like a 2 liter. If you go to 7-Eleven, you can get two for $5.
Yeah, okay, that's about the same
That's
then.
about the same. Like certain things like junk food can be cheap, right? But if you actually want to eat right and like fruits and vegetables, this is why people can't eat properly because it's so damn expensive,
Oh,
right? You'll get that frozen dinner or that frozen whatever, the things of pizza because it was a lot cheaper than get like a thing of bananas, right?
yeah.
Like
Well, bananas are still, I mean, they're more expensive than they were before, but bananas, I would say they're about 15 to 18p each.
okay, here were there were 73 cents yesterday. I
Each.
don't know, a pound, like a pound,
Oh,
like
right.
a
Oh, yeah, I
so
can't
you know
think
how they
of
come
what
in,
that is.
come in the things,
Yeah.
like, but like, or even just like corn. It was 83 cents for one corn. I'm like, oh my god,
For
like is
we
this?
had an egg shortage because there
Oh,
was
do
like
you?
yeah,
There
we
was
did,
a
yeah, and
yeah, there was something going on, some about like I think it was like a bird type of disease or
yeah,
something.
like bird flu or something.
But yeah,
2 pounds for 6 eggs. I mean, yes, it doesn't sound like a lot,
yeah,
but we don't eat eggs that much. I'm not going to pay
yeah,
2 pounds for 6 eggs. Who's that going to feed?
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Nobody here.
so Auntie Diane, who works at Costco, says groceries are way higher, even shopping at Costco. Bananas cost 7 bananas, 2
Like a
pounds a bunch.
bunch,
Yeah,
like
and we have a Costco here too, but I only buy a couple things from there. I buy the big bag of chocolate chips because chocolate chips are really expensive here for
oh,
baking and stuff.
oh, okay.
And we buy cheese and bacon there, like big packs of
Yeah.
that, and then my big rolls of what they call them, bin liners here, but like garbage bags.
Oh,
And
okay.
what else do I go to Costco for? I love getting the greasy pizza when I'm there, but there might be something else, but there's only a few things that we get there because when we actually look at the prices, it's so crazy. I see people just filling their trolleys, their carts. I have to do
Yeah,
this. You're bilingual for like Spanish
yeah,
and English. I have to
yeah.
be like British
British
English and
and
Canadian
English.
English. So they fill their carts, and I'm like, do you guys know that it's like way cheaper to like, yeah? So like how you said you go to Costco for
That's why.
this, you
Yeah,
go
that's
to
why. Yeah, I go to Walmart for like you know, when it comes to the fruits and vegetables or the kids snacks, the cookies and stuff, usually Costco is for the meats, the toilet paper, a lot
Yeah.
cheaper there, right? That's usually like, because
You
like
think
I
the
said,
toilet
there's eight of
paper
us.
is cheaper at Costco?
Well, I just saw, because it was Walmart had it for 20 like 19.99 yesterday. I took a picture of it, so
Whoa,
I'm gonna
whoa,
compare
whoa,
it.
whoa! 20 pounds at Walmart for how many rolls?
Okay, so it was 19.99. So I don't know how much dollars here, but it was like, you know how those big ones. I'm on
Yeah, like
my phone.
yeah,
You know how
like
like
a
it
double
comes with
roll.
like 24 of them, like it's like a big
24 for okay.
for
Yeah.
20 bucks. So, but I'm gonna check out Costco today while I'm out and compare what their quantity like. So, but yeah, I
Yeah,
thought
and
it was
now
cheaper at Costco
see, and
for the toilet
we have
paper.
a Asda, which is it was owned by the same company as Walmart, but they actually
Okay.
just sold it off like a couple of years ago. But we still get some of the same products. And even when I lived in Canada, Walmart toilet roll, toilet
Yeah.
paper, and like that kind of stuff. Kleenex, I still get my Kleenex from Asda as well, like box. They don't do tissue here like they do in Canada, so I can get these
Oh,
little skinny ones, and like they're so expensive. But I'm like, I have a Canadian nose still; it's dripping all the time. So,
oh,
um, but yeah, but it's about 10 pounds for. I think it might have gone up like to 11 or like for It was 24 rolls, but now it's 12 double rolls.
oh,
So
okay. Yeah. And certain things you just think like garbage bags you were saying earlier, or toilet paper, it's literally gonna go in the goddamn garbage. You know, like think of this, some garbage bags. It's like I think $8, $9. I'm just like, oh, you know, it's literally gonna throw it out, but you gotta.
literally, yeah. I know Steve says, what did you spend all the money on? I'm like, you don't understand. It's all the little things.
Yeah.
It's all the, you don't think about like the cleaners or the, like you said, like, kitchen roller,
Yeah.
like bags
But you're
and
right.
like all these,
You're
like,
right. When I see people at Costco and they're just, I'm like thinking, oh my God, there's goes like $500, probably like 600. Like it's just. And when I had the twins, it was like, and the formula went up completely. Like when I had the twins, it used to be, I think it was $20 for like the Kirkland
yeah.
formula, right? Now it's $34.
Wow.
Like, and so when I had the twins, it was when they were on sale. Like, okay, let's get like $100 worth. Like, it's 5 of them because we got double the feed, right? So, and now it's a lot easier to to feed one. But like, I used to think like, geez, like
What about
it's $34
like,
when I saw it.
how old is your youngest? Did you say
He's
6?
he'll be one next month.
Oh, 1, yeah.
Yeah.
The
So
twins are 6?
the twins are 4.
And,
The twins are 4.
and then the
Yeah.
other one's 6.
The other one's 6. Yeah. Yeah.
6,
Yeah.
twins are 4, and
Yeah.
oh, that just sounds like exhausting to me.
I know. Me too. I pictures, and I used to think like I used to be like, because they were preemies too, right? So I was in the hospital for a bit, and then he wasn't even 1 yet, like, oh, sorry, 2 yet. So it was literally in the living room on the floor, breastfeeding both of them, while the other was like, "Look at me, mom! Look at me, mom!" I used to be like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah.
Right? Like when you think back, like 4 years ago, I'm like,
Yeah, and then
how did I do
you're
it?
like, you know
Like,
what? I think I want another one.
yeah, let's do it again. And then and we go through IVF, so we are putting 2 embryos in all the time, right? So it's the roll of the dice. Am I gonna get 1 or 2, or is that gonna split and am I gonna get 4? Like, you just never
Yeah.
know. But
Yeah.
like yeah.
So are they
And
fraternal twins then?
yeah, they don't look alike at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you go through, so because of their ages, were you in that phase feeding any of them? Well, it's good that you could breastfeed, but like a couple years ago, I know it was in the States, but it might have been in Canada too, where you couldn't get any formula.
This was with this one right here, the 1-year-old, when he was just, so it was about a year ago. I saw that too. I was in a formula shortage. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna breastfeed. I'm good. I think about 4 months in, I was like, this is getting too tough. Like I'm breastfeeding, and then I have all these 3, and plus the kids are in preschool. I was just too much. I'm like, I'm gonna start buying formula, and I couldn't find any. I was like, am I going blind? Like, where's this formula? And yeah, there it was. And it sucks too because they limited 2 per person, right? So you can only buy 2. But then me, I would call my sister like, hey, if you see formula, buy 2. So I'm not pretty
Yeah.
sure because we were scared, because I'm like, what if I don't have to feed my kid, right? So
Yeah.
and then you
Especially if you don't have
and
any
a lot
breast
of
milk.
people did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. because it was coming, wasn't coming anymore, and I'm like, I had to feed him, right? So it was scary. Like, and now it's fine. Like, we're finally back to it being stocked, and people put it on Costco. The way I don't know if you guys have we have a Costco fan page or whatever on Facebook, right? So
I'm
people,
sure we have one, but
yeah, people
I
always
don't follow.
there's formula at Nisku, formula at St. Albert, formula. And so people are noting when there's formula, and
Good. And
people put it at 9 o'clock in the morning. By the time it's done, like the evening, all the formula is all gone.
that's crazy. Okay, so
Yeah.
Samantha said just sent clothes with Erica for the factory. So my stepson went to pick up Erica from Samantha's my best friend here. She has 3,
Okay.
and you're making her feel much better that you have 6 because she has a 15-year-old. So our 15-year-olds are best friends. That's how we know each other. And then she has a 5-year-old. Wait, hang on. Yeah, I think that 5 or 6. I know her birthday's in March because my niece and her are the same age, but I think they're 5 or 6. And then the baby she has is just over a year.
Oh, okay.
So today I was just at her house and it was like chaos, and I was like, I don't miss this, but oh yeah, she said okay, yeah, the girls are 5. And but now in listening to you, I'm like, see, Samantha, it could be worse, like having more. But
I know when we go visit our family members, they're like, once we leave, they're like, oh my God, it's so quiet in here. Because we're so loud, like having like the small ones that are 4, right? Like the four small ones, they're loud, and boys are crazy. These ones anyways, they're always wrestling, they're fighting, they're jumping up and down, and it's
that's
just.
I say girls are drama, but boys are like the food bill and the testosterone. Like, yeah, I only had girls, but boys, like they just need to like wrestle, or like they're always active. Like they need to be like so physical, and I couldn't imagine.
And that's what I said. I'm like, one of them eat, like they just love to eat, and I'm like, if this is what we're doing when they're 4 and 6, what the hell are we gonna do in 5 years when they're like 11? And how are we gonna feed these kids?
Well, you need to start gardening now, and I don't know if you garden at all, but you need to start teaching them to grow the food at home so that they're helping grow the food so you guys can make it and have like a lot, especially with the prices, right?
Yeah.
What was I? Okay, so Samantha says, okay, so the clothes thing is, so anyways, my stepson went to pick Erica up to bring her home because she was there today. And my husband, one of his jobs is Recycle UK. So he recycles textiles like clothes and like, those clothes banks that you donate your clothes to and stuff. Yeah, stuff like that. So he sends it to different places in the world. So she's sending clothes to donate. Okay, the puppy wants to play with the dog. So that's what the barking is. And but Lena is like almost 11. That's a German Shepherd. So she's like an old grandma. She doesn't really want to play right now. And then Samantha says, I've considered for the first time tonight to stop breastfeeding Spencer. It crossed my mind. And I was on the verge of a breakdown today. I know, Samantha, I'm so sorry that I didn't stay longer. She is one of those days in parenting where they all are just on your last nerve, like, and none of them are like, just, like, thank you for being good so I can deal with these ones. It was like, this one needed this, that one's has an attitude, that one's acting up. And it was just like, and I was like, do I stay or do I? Because so
it's that awkward. Do I stay? Do I go? Do I help out?
I know.
Or do I just go
leaving
home?
my kid here going to help her or make it worse? So it wasn't a good day for her. I hope it's better now, Samantha, and her husband Alex is probably home now too. So I hope it's better, and I hope that having Erica there was a help and not a hindrance.
Oh yeah, I've been there. Like I don't know why. Like as soon as I say, hey, I'm gonna video time your dad or FaceTime your dad, he's gonna see, like, and all of a sudden they're good. Like, why is it that as soon as you say, excuse me, the dad, they get kind of scared, kind of like, even though I'm like a bit meaner than he is, right?
But,
so
you know what it is, probably
that male authority or what it is that all of a sudden they're like, oh, I'm gonna behave, right? And we have cameras, like we have the baby cameras and one in the living room, right? And sometimes when they're acting bad, depending if they're downstairs, I message him and I'm like, look on the camera right now and tell them to behave. And he'll go on there and be like, oh, I'm watching you, right? So all of a sudden they're just like, okay, like, I don't know what it is that I don't know if it's just boys or
with you all the time. they're
just
with
like,
you all the time. So what you say, it's like, yeah, mom always says stop it. Mom always says be good. But if dad says it, because he doesn't say it all the time, he's not there trying, it's, if dad says it, it's serious.
yeah, it's like, but yeah, as soon as he walks in the door, I'm like, I'm off duty. Good luck.
Is that why? Okay. I was going to ask you that. Well, I mean, because it's only like 1:30 or
right
1:40 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So how is it with 6 kids? I mean, the 2 older ones, they can take care of themselves. But how is it that you're even here? How do you have an hour to even talk to me right now?
Well, see, my husband just got home, but they do know. I said, like the 3 that were upstairs, like the twins that are 4, like the 6-year-old. I was like, I have a video meeting. You guys behave. Watch something on the TV, right? So there's about 5 steps from where I'm at, right? So they do know when to calm down and know that, hey, I'm gonna be busy for, like, even for working out, right? They know it's mom, because I do the gym every day, right? And they know it's mom time. It's half an hour, but I do half an hour, 45 minutes, right? And I think they just know the routine, right? Like they just, in the beginning, they used to just be in there all the time. Like, oh, I want to try. And now they know, hey, it's mom's time. Leave her alone.
I remember,
but yeah.
So with working out, I need to start working out again. I have been eating healthier. Like for a month before we went to Spain, we were back on our eating healthy and stuff. And I am working in the garden and stuff. So I know, like, even today I was, when it was Father's Day, I brought this like fold up table out from the caravan into the back garden, and it was like heavy and like awkward. And then today I just put it back, and it was like not as bad to carry. I'm like, okay, so you're bringing the heavy pots and stuff in the garden's working, but I want to start doing my workouts again. But I remember, like, with the young kids, and Aurora, Samantha, this will help you for your day today when you, like, those days that you just want to break down crying and everything. When my first husband left, I had 3 young kids, the youngest being 3. And I just remember, but I ended up being, because it was like one of the worst times of my life, it ended up being one of the best things of my life too, because then I had no one else to blame if anything went wrong. I had to take like my money seriously. I had to do everything. I started working out. I got the best shape of my life. Like everything was good like that. But I remember this one day, like with dogs and, cats and kids and everything else. And one day, Erica, so she's probably around 3, I don't know why, she got off the couch. She was lying on the floor right behind me, and I was like doing cardio, like moving around, and I like tripped over her and fell. And so then I was crying, and I'm just like, oh my God, like I'm just trying to do something for myself. And, and just like the kids, I just remember tripping over her one time, and I'm like, what are you even doing on the floor? I'm moving everywhere.
Yeah. So. And you need that. Like I find when I work out, like it helps me mentally. Like you'll go insane sometimes, right? Like I have 6 of them from 20 to baby, right? And the husband in there as well, and an ex-husband.
Thank God you have a husband.
Well, they gotta have a husband that helps out.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You can have a husband and be a douchebag, but like I have
that is
that helps
for
out.
Like another child.
Right. And when I work out, like it helps me not just physically, but just mentally. Just that little half hour, 45 minutes. Like you got to release all that sometimes built-in anger or built-in stress, anxiety, and going for a quick workout helps out, right?
It does release that, but also mentally, I know when I work out, like I feel so much better for the rest of the day because I'm proud of myself. Yeah, I know that if nothing else, I've accomplished something really good today that's going to benefit everything. So you just have that mindset is totally different for the rest of your day because you've done that for yourself and for others. Because the better you are, the better you are for everyone else.
And you make it a routine, right? And if you're consistent, and then, like I said, like some moms are like, "How do you freaking do it? You got like all these kids, right?" Like the older ones are older ones; they take care of themselves. But like, I put my son for his first nap in the morning, so it's around 10 o'clock, and that's when the other 3 know, hey, I'm gonna work out. If you need anything, I'm right there, right? But that's their quiet time. They're usually like on a video game system or something like that, right? But and if they need anything, they're running to me. I'm like, okay, I need this or I need that or something. I'm like, okay, I'm almost done. Or they come and actually work out with me, right? It's a big space, so sometimes they're just like. If I'm doing jumping jacks or whatever, they just help along. They just do it too, right? So the more consistent you are, then they'll know, okay, well, this is what she's doing. This is what she's doing. And now you'll see them like, oh, Mom, I'm strong. I'm doing this. And, and it's good for them to know that, to get some physical activity as well. We're always running around anyways.
It's true, and I need to start doing my workout again. And there's no excuses. It's just that I haven't done it because I say that when I work out, every day you could have an excuse.
Yeah.
Some days you're gonna not feel like it. Some days you're gonna have a bit of an injury, so like obviously you need to take it easy. Yeah. You don't want that injury to be worse. Other days there's gonna be like something. There's always every day there's a reason that you couldn't do it. But I've also said like, say you actually get 8 hours of sleep. I doubt you do because you have all that, but whatever, which is going to be more beneficial to you in the long run, a half an hour more of sleep or a half an hour of working out? So it like there is no excuse. Everybody can fit it in, and you can do it at home. You can do it for free. You don't need lots of equipment or any. If you have those things, great. You can do different workouts and everything else, but you can do even the basic sit-ups and push-ups, which are difficult in the beginning if you don't do them. But you just work your way up. Like you can do this stuff for free, and even stretches in the morning before bed.
And that's so true because like, well, I'm on maternity leave, so I do have more time now. But when I work full time, I'm at the hospital, right? So I used to wake up at 5:30 and do my morning before I go to work, right? So by the time 6:30 came, I was done. Now let's get everybody ready to get ready for the day. Right. So, or in the evenings, the kids will go to bed, or my husband gets home, dinner's already made. I'm heading to the gym, like it's in the house. So I'm running downstairs, or it's in the garage now. Give me half an hour, and then the kids are eating. Right. So while he's there, so and you know, I'm talking about excuses because my husband, like, first his excuse was, well, the space is too small, so he did it in the garage. I'm like, hey, it's completely done now, right? So what's your excuse now? You know, and he just found out that he has high blood pressure, right? So I said, you know what, you can make all the
kids. I don't know why.
Where is that coming from? And I said, you can make all the excuses. In the end, it's up to you. You're gonna either do it or don't do it, right? So I'm not gonna
but don't blame other things.
So when I finished my workout today, he gets into the gym and he starts running on the treadmill. I'm like, oh, finally. Right?
And usually I start my workouts, I start with yoga because then it's stretching my muscles to get them working up so that I can. But there's times in the past where I would lie on my mat playing on my phone for 20 minutes or something, trying to build myself up, but I'm on the mat, I'm ready, and I know I'm going to do it. Once I get started, because I do the 30-day shred with Jillian Michaels, I still do the same things because I know they work, but it's a 30-day commitment. I know once I get started, I'm not going to stop. It's just about getting started. But
it is. It's that push to, then it's like, you need it. It's like, you know, and the days
I'm
that
so
you
glad
take
you
rest
give
days
that
or
to
you can't.
Pardon?
Yeah, I have to. Or the days that you just don't do it, or you don't feel like it kind of bums you out a bit. So there's sometimes where I'm just like, oh, I could have, should have, would have, but some days I just don't freaking feel like it either, right?
And that's okay. And you're doing it like, if your commitment is like 3 to 5 times a week or whatever it is, as long as you're doing, you know, like you know when you need a day off when you don't feel like doing it, but you've done it the rest of the times, or when you're trying to make excuses. I remember my brother when our youngest, who's 15, and his youngest is the same age, but when they were little, when I still lived in Canada, so between 3 and 6, I remember, or maybe when we were back, I don't know, I just remember him saying to the kids, or maybe it was my older kids, he was giving somebody trouble, and he said, they said something, and he said, we don't do excuses. And I just thought, oh, that's a good one. I like that. So I'm gonna use that. So what do you do when you're not on maternity leave? You work at the hospital. What do you do?
I main work at the kidney transplant at the U of A.
The what? Sorry?
Kidney transplant department at the U of A.
Oh, kidney transplant.
Yeah, so I do admin work there.
Oh, right. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So a lot of like getting the patients and getting their investigations, like their ultrasound, blood work, everything they need to do, right? And whoever it wants to be their donor, getting their stuff done to make sure they're compatible and everything. So it's the back work of it. So not in the clinic, just at the back. So it's where
I am donating all my body. Like I want my body to be donated to science, but my husband thinks that the kids won't want that. So they can take anything they want from me, and if the kids agree, then they can have my whole body. But I'm definitely donating whatever they can use.
That's what I'm doing too. It's just, what am I going to need it for?
Exactly.
Right? It could save other people's lives. Like like, or my own kids' lives. You never know. You don't know.
Well,
Right.
even
So,
like I need to go donate blood again too, because
yeah.
like when my dad died, he donated his eyes. I thought it was like the whole eye. I was like, oh, somebody's out there walking with my dad's eyes, but it's not. It's
Yeah.
like it's a
Yeah.
piece of the end. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, but even just that he died and that's sad and everything else, but somebody
Yeah.
else can see better because
Yeah.
of my dad's selflessness.
Yeah.
That how great is that? And that's one thing.
Yeah.
Imagine
Yeah.
how much they can harvest from a body. Again, not like
Yeah.
killing people for harvesting, but
Yeah.
also even blood donations. Like they tried to save my dad with like transfusions and stuff. And
Yeah.
my husband, he broke his neck. He was in a car accident and stuff, and so he had to
Yeah.
get that saved his life as well. Like
Yeah.
so, you, like donating blood, even like it doesn't take much, and it can
Yeah.
like literally save lives or change people's lives.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy to think, like for heart or whatever, like my heart's gonna be beating, a few years after I'm not even here, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and save someone else. But yeah, but yeah.
Okay.
And what do you
So
do?
tell
Are
everyone
you
something
just
inspirational like you do every day. So you have your videos, people can watch your videos, they can watch you work out, they can see you saying inspirational things. I'll have to translate the ones that are in Spanish if they don't have English subtitles.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I've been reading more like books, like more inspirational, motivational books, right? So right now I'm reading the 5 second rule
Okay.
with Mel Robbins.
No, I
It's
haven't
kind of
heard
like
it, but I do like motivational books and stuff like that.
it
So
gives you it's like a book that you have like 5 seconds, like you count down five, 4, 3, 2, 1. When it's something you don't want to do, you just say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just fucking do it. Get up and
oh yeah,
do it. You know what I
yes.
mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I want to read because I read her other one, the five the habits and or the high five habit, and that was a really good one. Is to like give yourself a high five and motivate yourself. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm doing more, but I do watch a lot of motivational videos. Like if you see all my Instagrams and stuff like that, and I do more Instagram. So just those motivational little speeches that just help you just a little bit. No, you're not the only one going through all that shit too, right? Because there's
Yeah.
a lot you go
Yeah.
through, and a lot
I
of
know
you
I
go
just
through that people don't know, right?
right.
Or people think, oh, look at her, she has a beautiful life, she has 6 kids, her house, and her husband. You don't know the steps you went through, the path you went through to get to where you're at, right? People
Yeah.
don't know that. People just see that, what's it, for the gram, if they see the
But
gram, like that's all for the gram.
I know exactly what you're talking about because now I even when we went to Spain like a few weeks ago and somebody was saying money laundering came up and then this guy at the end of the table was like how are you guys talking about money laundering, what happened like to get to that conversation, and he like joined our conversation and I was like no, we were just talking about, I can't remember what we were talking about, but it was
Yeah.
just a funny conversation that went like, it's like no, we're not doing that. But and then he said
We
after
don't.
he's like okay, so instead of that, he's like, well, so what do you do for a living? And I was like, I'm a trophy wife, but I'm not. But because Steve said, I can't remember what. Oh, I think it was the first day. I was something I was gonna wear, and he's like, you should wear one of the dresses. He's like, because I want to show you off, And then I was like, so we just joke that sometimes we joke because he's older. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, that I'm a gold digger, that I'm a trophy wife, that but I am like a kept wife because
Yeah.
I don't have to work out of the house now. And
Yeah.
that's what I've always wanted. I wanted to be
Yeah.
home and take care of the kids and I'm able to have that. But so right now people see like a kept wife, a nice
Yeah.
house, all this stuff, but they have no idea that um when my kids, that I was a single mom for a while,
Yeah.
or that even when I was with my ex-husband, that he didn't want to work. He just didn't
Yeah.
want to because we have that option in life. And like how there was a time when I was pregnant, I was so sick I couldn't work, but I needed him to work, but I needed at home to take care of the other two because I was so sick. And we had no money. And the only thing that got us through was my mom worked for the school lunch program and
Yeah.
she would freeze that. They couldn't give the kids the food to take home because of
Yeah.
liability, but they could take the food home. So my mom would take the food home and freeze it. And then my brother, but we lived 6 hours away from my mom, but my brother, he had to go back every month for his stepdaughter to see her dad. So he would bring the frozen food to me 6 hours away, and I would have my freezer, and that would get like feed us. And like the only thing that got us through that was that food. Like it's great. People don't. And then I suffer from mild depression. I've had it my whole life. I will have it my whole life. I wasn't diagnosed till I was 18, so I was a very crazy, emotional teenager. But same thing with the books, right? The motivational books. That's why I am the way I am, because I've had to work my ass off to even get my ass out of bed or be happy. So I look like I'm just like so happy all the time. But how many times, how many years did people just say, smile? And I'd be like, smile about what?
Yeah.
I'll smile when I'm happy. There's nothing to smile about. Like, it took me so long to get to this place.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, but I don't like fake it on the gram. You know what I mean? I don't like act like, oh, everything's perfect and everything else. And that's why I like this rambling hour, because people can be like, hear that, you know, like, or like Samantha, you know, like how she had like a shit day. And some days, you have 6 kids, you're doing the workouts, you're motivational, you look like you're like, wow, why can't we all be like Hazel? But as if you don't have those days when you're just crying, thinking, what the hell did I do? Why do I have all these kids? Or why can't they just give me a break? Or, you know, like it is. I don't like people who are fake.
Yeah.
And I don't, but me and Steve talked about that too, because people don't want you to like, shit happens every day, but people don't want that on your post either. They don't want you to be like, oh, sob story, this happened today and that, you know what I mean? Like, and we're struggling with this, but it's still so more realistic.
But that's so true, because people you don't know, right? So, but that's.
Sorry, now you know why it's called the Rambling Hour, because I can go on and on.
And do you plan to come back at all to visit, or do you come back at all to visit?
We came in 2019. Hello, I love you too. Good night. There's a 15-year-old back. So I moved here in 2014, October 2014, and then we came back a year later, 2015, and then we came back in 2019. So what's that? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 4 years later. The summer of 2019, we were there for 5 weeks, which was really good. So we got in a good visit, and we didn't know COVID was going to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that we got in there before COVID happened, and now COVID's happened, and now the girls and their passports expire every 5 years. Mine are 10. So it's this 2024. All of our passports are going to expire, so we have to come back to do that. It's just easier to do it there.
You have to come back and do it here. Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, no, I think that's what Steve said. I think you can do it from here, you know, like the same as if you lose your passport while you're abroad and stuff. I think that you can, but it's just time that we come back for a visit anyways. So, So, yeah.
Okay.
But
I think you can get I think the kids can get a 10-year they're adults now. Right?
I think because kids change so often, they have to get it every 5 years because their picture. But I don't know how old now. Like, again, one of them is already an adult, and the next one is going to be an adult, so they'll be fine. But the 15-year-old might still have to get a 5-year. But so it's been a while since we've been back, but it was a good visit when we did come back.
Yeah.
And I love technology, because I feel this is why I started doing this, is because some of my friends gave me, because I can be outgoing, I can talk lots, obviously, and everything else, but I'm also like, I like being by myself. I like being in the garden. I just like, you know, and I can be very antisocial, like just alone time. But some of my friends would give me a hard time about not keeping in touch. And if somebody says that they need me, I'll be there right away. But I'm not always the one to reach out and be like, how you doing? So I said, okay, fine. Like, this is like having coffee with someone, right? After I remember when I still live in Canada, I would eat my dinner with one of my friends. Me and him would eat together when it was he was out at camp working. So when he would have dinner, he would set up his phone and I would eat my dinner. So it felt like we were eating together. And it felt like you're across the table from each other. But, so you feel like you have coffee. So I just said, okay, fine. You know what? I'm going to be at the same time, same place every week. If you want to have coffee with me, that's where I am. So that's how this started. And then I know like my auntie and my mom and my sister sometimes too, like, and then Samantha, she's my biggest fan, even though she lives here. But, and then there's the people who just drop in and like, you know, even for a few minutes and just say hi. And I feel like then I'm like, I've had this communication and this contact with them. And it's like the next best thing to being there. And how many people live just down the road from you when you barely talk to them?
That's so true.
So
how do you be neighbors for like 20 years and you just don't even know who they are?
I know. So how do you know Salila? Oh, wait, you muted yourself. A little microphone. I don't know. It's in the bottom corner of your picture. It shows that you're muted. What did you touch? No. You'll figure it out. Keep trying. You can, yeah, you can probably hear me. Can you hear me? Little microphone. On the bottom, is there pictures? Okay, let's try this again. Now she just hung up, so we will bring her back. Hazel, if you're watching, let me know. Oh, there. Oh my God. Come on. My finger's not working. Sorry, guys. I will just wait for her to come back up and then I'll add her again. I hope you're enjoying the conversation with Hazel. I hope I'm giving her enough time to talk because I know I can go on and on and on. And I did this like 24 question thing. I haven't narrowed it down to the best questions or whatever, but I did like a 24 question thing so that when I have a guest, I can ask them questions so that I can, so you guys can learn about them, things that you want to know about them. Like, you know, what do they do for a living? How many kids do they have? What, you know, all those things. What do they want to get out of life before they die? I don't know. We actually are at an hour, but that's okay. We can still go over because we're enjoying our conversation. But we'll try and get her back. Okay, she's ready now. All right. So how do I do this? Oh man. There we go. So it should be adding you now. And your sound should be back when you hello.
Okay, that was weird. I don't know what happened. Just all of a sudden, just like muted. Anyways, sorry. I'm back.
But I just asked how you know Salila.
We were so a few years ago I worked at the prosecutor's office and she worked at the courthouse. So she did a lot of my paper signing, and so we kind of just, and then we always cross paths, and then we Facebook, and so we've always just, that's where we started knowing each other. That's from work.
Oh right, okay. And I knew her
Yeah.
growing up. Like she lived down the street
Oh,
from
that's cool.
my parents' house, and like I said, in the neighborhood. She went to public school. I went to Catholic school, so we didn't go to school together. But yeah. So do you mind if I ask how old you are?
41.
41. Okay, yeah, because you went. I saw that you went to Eastland, but
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you if you knew some people, but you probably don't because you're younger than me. So you would have been just starting when I finished.
Oh yeah.
I didn't go to Eastland, but
oh yeah, a lot of it was on the list to get closed. Apparently, I think there wasn't a lot of kids attending. So I don't know. That was a few years ago. Like a few years ago, someone said, "Oh, they're going to be closing that high school," but I don't know what happened after that.
it's
Who knows?
so out of all of us kids, I mean, my little sister, I don't know about her kids because there's only like not, well, he'll be 9 in a couple days, and then 5, the girl's 5. So I don't know where they're going to school, but my older sister, her son, she has one who's 22 and one that's 15 or will be 15 in September, and he's going to O'Leary, which is where we went. So my older cousins went to O'Leary, and then all of us kids went to O'Leary. So that's like, out of all of our kids, that's the first one that's going to O'Leary as well. But and my little sister is a teacher at Austin O'Brien.
Oh, yeah.
So she's a drama teacher.
Oh,
but it's cool when like to think the kids are going to the school that you went to. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Or that you like, oh, that was the bad school when I grew up, or that, it's crazy. time just flies. Time goes by fast. Like when you graduate high school and you think, like, to think that was like 22 years ago, 23 years ago, it's literally, I blink. Like, I'm just like, how did it just
What
go? Like,
about when you think of your parents? Like my mom had me around 30,
mhm.
29 or 30. And so we're 30 years apart. And you just think of when you thought your parents were old and you were like, so when I was 10, thinking my mom was so old, she was only 40,
Yeah,
you know, and when I was 20 doing whatever, my mom was
yeah,
only 50.
yeah.
And it's
You
just,
think, yeah, yeah, you do. You just, well, my mom had me young. I think she was 17 when she had me. So like, even my kids sometimes I want me old. Like I'm like, you're only like 20 years older than, like, younger than me, so it's really not that old. So shut up.
yeah.
Right? Like,
So I know because when I first got here, my stepson, who was 12, turning 13, I remember him and his friends kept up they're saying, "Oh, you're not old." But now he likes to take what they
yeah.
say, take the Mickey, like bug me and say like, "Oh, you guys are so old." But how many kids were in your family growing up?
Six. So and I yeah, there's six and I was the second oldest. There's three boys and three girls.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and
Okay.
yeah, and I'm the second oldest.
Is the
Yeah.
oldest one a boy or a girl?
A girl.
Yeah, the big,
Yeah.
big older
Yeah.
sister that took care of everybody.
Yeah, pretty
So
much.
did you
Yeah.
have a close family though growing up?
We did. We were very close. We still are.
And
Like,
your
everybody
your
comes over.
your profile said that you were born in not Ecuador. Was it
No.
Ecuador?
Nicaragua.
Nicaragua.
Yeah.
Oh no, what does
Yeah.
your wait, what does your thing say? Oh yeah, it's in
Citizen.
Nicaragua. What is it?
Managua?
The capital
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
Nicaragua is
Managua. Yeah.
yeah.
So
Sorry,
yeah, I was
that, you
born.
know, me and Steve were talking about it yesterday when I looked at where you were, if you were from, like, were you born in Canada or were you born
No,
in
I came
Nicaragua?
here. I was 5 when I moved here.
Right. And then, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so then me and Steve started talking about all the different places. And because, you know, growing up in Canada, everybody's from somewhere.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, then I was talking, because I went to school with a lot of Spanish people, not from Spain. You know, here it would be
Not
Spanish
there.
people would be from Spain. But I went to
Yeah.
school with lots of people from Central and South
Yeah.
America. And, yeah, but it's so weird because even now, like I said that too, like you don't, as a kid, we were just all kids and life was life.
Yeah.
But then when you get older, like this is so sad. One of my friends who's from Honduras, no, shit, El Salvador.
Yeah.
I didn't know all this time I grew up with him and everything else. I didn't know like the things that, and you were born, oh no, you were just born. So you're not the same age as me. So you were born, because, well, you were born in, I don't know what they called it. They didn't call it the Troubles. That was here. But like right when there was not the revolution. What was it
Like the
called? In,
Civil War and
yeah, like
all the.
right
Yeah.
in that time.
Yeah.
That's when you were born. And when you moved to Canada. So like
Yeah.
all that unrest and all that stuff that's going on, you don't, especially being somewhere like Canada, I didn't know what my friends came from.
Yeah.
I didn't know. They just seemed normal to me,
Yeah.
just the same as me, like as if everything's. And then so I went to school with this one person from El Salvador, and I didn't know until we were adults, like I say a few years ago, but this is when I still lived there.
Yeah.
But that because of the war and the fighting and stuff like that, like his mom was getting off the bus and they shot her getting off the bus, and I think his sister ran over first, and then he ran over, and he saw his dead mom at the right on the ground at the bus entrance, and like, so this person I went to school with this whole time, and you don't realize,
Has like a
like you said, you don't know
tragedy.
what somebody's been through and
Yeah.
all that, like you don't realize the trauma, and it's like,
Yeah.
holy shit. So if he acted out in school sometimes and wasn't always on his best behavior, like you have no idea
Yeah.
what this person has
Yeah.
gone through or what's going on with their family, or
Yeah.
you know, like what the other parent, like his dad, had to go through because, you know, so it
Yeah.
just, I have a friend in who still lives in Iran, and
Oh, wow.
at one time when we were he started liking my stuff for my photography, and we became
Yeah.
friends. And I remember talking to him once, and he said, because his dad died when he was like 4. His
Oh,
dad
okay.
his dad was like, he gave information to the good guys kind of
Oh,
thing. I can't
okay.
remember. So like an informant or something, and they killed him. And he said something like, I never even had the chance to say I love you. Or he said something like just that broke
Yeah.
my heart.
Yeah.
And it's because it's still not great where he lives either now. And he's a journalist. So he knows that anytime he could be, and it's the same thing. So we're just talking and as if life is like in it, I go back to my whatever comfortable life and he goes back to, yes, it might be comfortable now, but knowing that anything could happen. And it's so bizarre.
Yeah.
I loved where we grew up. I loved that there's people from all over the place. But anyways, yesterday me and Steve were talking. Once we started talking about then we started talking about the other places that I have people I went to school with, and then that's why I'm all confused about where people. Because Salila's from. Don't tell me. Oh shit! I forgot now where Salila's from.
I don't know. Somewhere in Africa. I think Uganda. No.
Yeah, Uganda.
She's gonna get
in
mad.
Africa. Wait, did I say you were from Uganda? Oh, what did I? Where did I say you were from?
Ecuador.
Well, at least I was getting the somewhere. Okay. Yeah, she might be from Uganda. I can't remember, but I don't know how old she was when she moved to Canada either.
Oh no! See, I knew as an adult, so yeah, I don't know. But yeah.
So your parents.
And it's crazy, and it is crazy how like where we're born and where we're at now, you know what I mean? Like I was born thousands of miles away, but here I am in Canada talking to you kind of thing, right? Or how our paths come together and cross and all that.
Yeah, and I was
cool.
born there, and now I'm across the world, but it still feels like I could be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not exactly the same here, but it's like, how people are. There is different countries that are going through stuff right now, so there's still a lot of not immigrants, but what am I trying to say? Refugees and stuff like that coming from different countries. But there's places like I kind of get it with like the UK, like not in a racist way, but I realize that it is an island. Like, there's only so much room.
Yeah.
So it's not even just, and it's because of the healthcare and stuff like that. Like if you are in danger for your life, then really, as soon as you came to the first country that was safe, you would feel good. But lots of them will come through Europe to come to the UK because life is good here. Do you know what I mean? And and like I don't care because I grew up where it's like so multicultural that I loved it.
Yeah.
We had like days at school where everybody would bring in food from their culture. That was my favorite day because I love food. But so I'm used to it, but I understand like how, so it's not even a fact of like, so even here, like any cities you go to anywhere, there's like so many different nationalities. But and when I moved to Saskatchewan, it was mostly white people and First Nations, which is fine. But it was like I missed the city. I missed all the different nationalities, all the different restaurants, all the different. So it's the same thing here now. I live in like a sort of a town, so there's not like a huge population of different things unless you go to the city where then there's everything. And I love when you have interactions with people who are of a different nationality or something, and you just have like normal. It's just normal. You know, like you go to the clothing shop and the person helping you is from somewhere else, and especially with the kids, because I don't want the kids to just have a white experience. I want them to see that people might look different or even speak different, but they just want to have love, have their kids, have food. Like, it's just life. And I loved that for growing up where we did. I just wish I would have known. I mean, you're kids, so you don't know those things. But I wish I would have known how hard some people's lives were. That I might have. I mean, I treated everybody well, but you just assume that everybody's life is like yours.
Yeah.
And if you have a good life, then you assume that their life is like yours. You don't know who's getting beaten at home, who's worse. It's
worse
just
stuff. Or even not even have like food, right? You don't realize how many kids in the city or where you're at too. Like, you think, oh, we're in Canada, we have everything, but there's some kids that go hungry. There's some kids
why
that
my mom wished
rely
she could
on
give,
that food, like at school. And then when COVID happened, some kids weren't eating, because it was all at home. Their meal of the day was at school, and you just don't see that. You're just like thinking, oh, whatever, it's Canada, there's a food bank, but it's just,
my mom said,
and
that
it's sad.
Like, she knew, she said it was heartbreaking because she was a lunch lady for like 20 years, and she said you could tell that some of those kids, that was the only meal they were getting that day. And like you said, you think like Canada, I mean, America is so messed up and sad. It is honestly, it is like a first world country and a third world country at the same time. is ridiculous there. I don't even, I don't, oh, I used to think Canada and America were like similar, but now I've learned so much more. I'm like, holy shit, they are completely different. But
or you think it's better, like, oh, the states have this and the states have that, but like, no, man, when you want food, shelter, clothing, or not to be discriminated too much, like me being Latina going in the states, you know, compared to being Canada and being Latina, is completely different.
That's what I said. Like, I asked some of my Black friends, because you don't want to be that, you know, like, there's like, we are waking up so much more now to so many things, like treating people. Even my gay friend, like when I was going in junior high, there was one guy who was gay, and it was like, he was gay, but like, he was so funny, and so like we were still. I went to school with his sister, so me and his sister were the same age. He was like a year or two older than us, but like we're still friends now. And I asked him, did you get like treated differently because? And he said, not really. And I was like, well, that's how I experienced it. So like I said, the same thing, like there was people we liked and didn't like. There was the bully in class. There was the pervert in class. There was those things, but it had nothing to do with race. It had to do with the fact that, you know, we don't like you because you're an ass, not because. So, and I went to school with a lot of First Nations, lots of, like I said, lots of Latinos. And then when I went to high school, it was a lot of Oriental. And, you know, like you live in Edmonton, so you know, it's like everything. But at school, we were just like one group. And so I hope that, and then just, I wrote this on one of Salila's things, because when I moved here, I had like my first, like, what do you call it? Like a identity crisis, because I'm white. So you think moving to a white country, it would be fine, but they would make fun of the way I spoke, like even different words. And like, so even my like the family here, like they didn't do it mean, but it just is like, well, I didn't make up the language. That's how we say it there. And like,
and then something to you that's just normal. It's hilarious and funny. Like they have no idea. Just like this one girl that was on my daughter's school. She's also from the UK. She came like a couple years ago now. And the first thing she said, oh, does anybody have a rubber? Right? And everybody,
that's like, different.
Oh my God, right? She's asking somebody for this, and it was what, an eraser? Right? So something just like that, tiny and innocent, and it's one regular word. It's like, it was just an eraser.
I remember. Right? I had a friend, and her name, I can't remember. Like it was somebody I went to school with or something, and I can't remember what her name was now, but I remember her Chinese name was Twit. But she Twit, and it meant like Snow White or white as snow or something. I can't believe I can't remember her actual name. I think it was Julie. But she came home crying so much in kindergarten because they were making fun of her, that her parents let her choose like an English name, like a white name. So she went like Julie or something. But like, so in her language, it was such a beautiful name. But for the word twit, for us, it's like a dummy or whatever. But so so people would think that it would have been easy for me being white here, but I like so also my descendants are Irish, French, and Scottish. And you know, in Canada, we say, "What nationality are you?" Not because it's not an offensive thing. It's because everybody's from somewhere, so it's just like, oh yeah, but you know, I can't tell where you're from exactly. So, but here people are like, we're British. And it's like, well, no, but that's not what I mean. Like, where's he? You know, because they've had this, you know, they've colonized so many places that there's people here from everywhere. So that when I say what nationality are you, they just don't get what I'm talking about. They think it's like an offensive thing. But, and then, so they make it known too, like Irish and Scottish, that when I say, well, I'm Irish, they're like, no, you're not. You're Canadian. It's like, so you're not from here. So, but then in Canada now with the Indigenous thing, and I've always been sensitive to the Indigenous thing. I've always felt bad for what the white people did to them and to the land and everything else. And I grew up being educated about that, not like in the States. I'm not saying we don't have our problems in Canada, but we did learn about them. And I have cousins who are, and so I learned about that, but there wasn't anything I could do. But so lots of my friends are first or second generation Canadians, like yourself. And when I do my dad's line, we've been there for like 13 generations. So like my great whatever grandpa came from Ireland after the potato famine. So so we've been in Canada a long time, and this is what I'm like, where it's so hard. I mean, it sounds so, because now I'm like, oh my God, I'm just a white Canadian middle class who grew up like so lucky, and you know, with both parents and like everything else. Who am I to question anything? But at the same time, it's like a little bit of a crisis, because I'm like, so I love being Canadian. I'm so proud of that. And I
Yeah.
didn't realize how proud I was until I moved somewhere else where I could say, like, wow, I had such a great
Yeah.
life in Canada. I'm so proud to be that. I love our, instead of a melting pot, where the cultural mosaic, where, you know, we have heritage days where everybody's appreciated
Yeah.
for our differences and we share them. And I love that. But then I just like, so if I'm not Irish and Scottish and French and I'm not First Nations, like, and then I'm white, am I part of the problem? Like, do I say sorry to everybody? You know,
Yeah.
the blacks were the slaves, the Chinese built the railroad. Like,
Yeah.
am I the enemy? You know, and how, besides being nice to everyone, and that's what I like. So growing up with everybody, different nationalities, I just thought we were like all the same.
Yeah.
But now I'm thinking, oh shit, I was the white one. Like, did I treat, you know, so I've asked my black friends, like, were you treated? But they, and Steve says that too, like, we'll watch old shows here and you'll see, like, in the 70s on TV and everything, you'll see black people and like, it was just, they were just people. And even when you listen to the military stuff, when like the black soldiers came over, like the black American soldiers, when they would come to the UK and stuff like that, they were just soldiers. Like, they would see black people free here, just, you know, going into the same shops, going to the same thing. And they're like, oh, so we don't have to live that way, which is part of why when they went back, there was like the, what's it called again? The,
like the segregation.
what? Sorry, say it again.
Segregation.
Yeah,
Segregation.
not segregation, but when, no, the, what is it called when they started having it so there wasn't segregation?
Like
There's a name for it, like the,
apartheid?
no,
Kind of like
that's in South Africa.
That's in Africa.
You know what I mean, though, when they
Yeah, I
started
know what
having like, when they started rebelling and saying we need to be treated fairly. So, but I think it's more like that in Canada. Like, to me, anyways. I remember once, like, Elsa. Okay, so Leela, me and her had a friend, a mutual friend, Elsa, who's from Eritrea, and she went to school with me. But I remember someone called her, I don't even remember what he called her, something black, something. And I was like, okay, shut up, you white potato. And I was like, I don't even know what a white insult is. But I was like, I remember once in our whole life, somebody saying something about her race.
Wow. Yeah.
But so I just wonder, like, how were they treated like the people in the States? My point was, now in the news, and I'm not saying there's not racism here too, but you're seeing like so many people that are acting like they were treated like the people in the States are being treated. So they're acting like, where it's like, no. I'm not saying there's not racism here or in London, but you black people are not treated the same as the American black people. The people in Canada, as far as I know, were not treated the same as the ones in America. Like, I didn't know how shit people were treated in America.
Yeah.
Or for their, not just like class, race, anything. Like,
it's scary. Like, I couldn't imagine have been growing up in that time, or even now, right? It's just
no, but I like, all I can do is educate myself and educate other people to, and then love each other. Like, I don't know what else to do. I just hope that I treated everyone. I think I did. I think we were never taught racism, like, as in, my parents never said hate these type of people.
Yeah.
Like, here, there's also gypsies. Well, I guess we're not supposed to call them gypsies. They're travelers. They're whatever. They're, so they like live in like camping trailers or mobile homes, and they move on. This is like, I don't agree with breaking the law, but because they have always done it, they think they have a right to do it. So, you know, no one owns the land type thing. So they'll just like, if the farmer's field is accessible, they'll all go there and just start living there. And like, so there is negative things about them. They're very aggressive. They'll just like, they'll leave all their garbage there if they move on. Like, there is issues with them, but they're a minority. And so here there is like you can call it a race, I guess, like a, not racism, what's the other thing? Prejudice against them. But I've told the girls the same thing. Like, if you meet one, don't treat them any differently. You know, if you have an interaction with them and it's a good interaction, they're just people. But it's sad that it still goes on. And so, but my parents never told us to not like any type of people for any type of reason. They didn't even say don't like anything. It wasn't even an issue. It was like,
Yeah.
So I don't, and I would like to think, and that's how I picture Edmonton. Like, I think
Yeah.
that most people, but I'm white, so I don't know. Tell me from your experience as somebody who's not, well, I mean, and then it's, who is it that said, so if like an Italian in Europe would be considered white, but an Italian in Canada might not be considered white, right? They're
Right.
Mediterranean.
Yeah. They're
But
just,
then,
yeah.
so it's the same thing. Like, I can't remember who it was. Somebody, they were so confused because they went somewhere and then they were considered white.
But even
They were
then,
Cuban or
they were,
something. And they were
okay.
like, so one place they'd be brown, another place they were white. And, so like,
Yeah.
so even though I say you're not white, like, whatever, you know what I mean? So how is your
Yeah.
experience growing up in Edmonton?
You
Do
know
you
what?
find that we just love each other?
Yes. Like, we, I was just, because you bring this up, and I was just talking about this with my oldest son, who is part black. His dad is his dad, like, so his dad is mixed. So his dad is from Winnipeg, his grandpa, and his mom is from Barbados, right? So his dad is mixed, so he makes him mixed, and he does look mixed more than my daughter, like his sister. And we were talking about that, and then we were saying how I never felt not not with the word like I was never discriminated growing up myself. Like I never went somewhere like, oh, look at this Latina, or oh, only Latino. Like I was never like an issue. I've never been called anything or looked upon differently at all. But then he says like he has been, like maybe it is because because he does have an afro. He has like
But see, I
his
think
hair is
part of it is
different.
appearance, right? So
So
if someone's bigger, they'll say, "Oh, you stupid fat, blah blah
yeah,
blah." If you have
yeah,
alopecia, and
yeah,
you have no hair, they'll say you stupid bald.
yeah,
Like, so I think part of it isn't that they're actually like hating on that. It's
yeah,
it's finding something about, like my sister had glasses growing
yeah.
up, my older sister, right? And that was the days when she was called Four Eyes, and so
You
I
think
think
that?
part of it is just what can I insult
Yeah,
about that
yeah.
person.
But
But
yeah, and I've never like not. And I grew up in the north side, right? So
yes,
we lived in Castle Down
that's
a
where I'm
bit,
from.
and then I went to East Glen. That's right on 118. So if anybody knows the area, right? So, and then now I'm here in Millwoods. Like this is where I bought my house, right? So we're just.
So
But I
is
was never,
Millwood
never.
still predominantly like Indian and
More,
Pakistani? And,
not where I'm at, more in like the newer areas. Like they built new areas. Like I said, you haven't been in a while, so I don't know. Like way like on 17th Street,
like,
on
oh,
the White Mud. Like there's
Ellerslie, past
more.
Ellerslie and stuff, like,
Yeah,
you mean?
there's more,
Yeah.
but not where I'm at.
So
Like
they
there's
like moved to the new houses.
yeah.
Now Millwood is considered
Well, it was
older.
because back in the day we used to call it New Delhi. Like right? I don't know about you, but
Yeah, but it
like
wasn't
it was
racist. It was just the
no,
area.
it's
It's
just the
like
areas.
Chinatown, right? It was
Yeah,
just, that's
exactly.
where
That's where
it wasn't
all the
like.
East Indians, yeah, markets and the restaurants and everything. Hey, buddy, I'm almost done. I
And
think they're waiting
like,
for
you
me.
grew up in Edmonton, so you grew up with lots of Lebanese as well.
Yes.
Do you know
Oh, the north
that?
side.
Yeah, exactly. Besides Lebanon, there is more Lebanese people in Edmonton than anywhere else in the world.
Really?
I learned that. I was like, because I kept saying like, oh, like, yeah, this means that in Lebanese, and I know that, and, and my friend, my cousin, I have cousins who are Lebanese,
Yeah.
and then I realized like, well, Lebanon is like so
It's
tiny, and you're like,
small.
how do I know so many Lebanese people? And then I found
They're
that
all here.
fun fact out that there's
That's
like
fun.
so many there. But yeah, I loved it. I wouldn't have changed it for the world. I
Yeah.
wish I could give my kids that just all the different. My little sister
Yeah.
used to do Filipino dancing,
Oh,
which is
cool.
like it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate the identity because then I'm like, okay, so I grew up north side Edmonton,
Yeah.
prairies, lots
Yeah.
of Ukrainian influence, pierogies, and
Yeah.
like all these. So then like okay, but I'm not Ukrainian, but I still identify with some of that stuff because of where we grew up. And then, like I said, the First Nations things, like I went to St. Francis of Assisi, so we had powwows and
Yeah.
everything, and like there's just like it is. I guess that's what being Canadian
Yeah.
is like a little bit of everything that you come into contact with. And
Yeah.
I wouldn't change it for any. It's not bad here. Like
Yeah.
living in the UK is very similar to Canada, in the way that like lifestyle
Yeah.
is just like living day to
Yeah.
day. It's just tight. Like the buildings are close and the roads are
Yeah.
tight.
It
But
looks.
for the most part, it's not. But like my the one who's 17 turning 18, when she was first, like when we were first here, when she was first going to school, they told her to go back where she came from. but you don't expect that with like being white in a white place, but because she has the
But you have
accent,
that accent.
she's just
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
It's anything they can find to just, you know, and when she came home and told me that and she was really upset, I was like,
And
it was just,
that was never told to me, even being here in Canada. No one ever said that to me. Like, and I've heard it like on TV and stuff, but to my face, no one has ever said that. So when we do see like a British person or anywhere else, I love the accent. They're like, oh, it's so cool, right, that you're here. I wouldn't say go back. Like,
yeah, but you can imagine that little girl who asked for a rubber. Like, you can imagine just one kid being like
and then of all things, right?
Yeah.
This is high school. You're gonna say, hey, does anybody have a rubber?
I know.
Right?
I know.
Poor
There's like, well,
kid.
actually, there's a food here that it's called savory ducks, but it's like, I think it's pork. It's like these little, it's like a meatball. It's a really soft meatball, and but they're called faggots. Like on the box, it says faggots. So the other, and you can call them savory duck, but they're not duck. So
how the world is.
And they still call like cigarettes fags as well. Like they still use that term, not lots, but still you'll hear people say that.
Wow.
And it's just, yeah, it is like there is those differences. I'm pretty
good
now
at this meeting though. Sorry. Oh, you froze.
Sorry, what did you say?
I do have to cut the meeting short. So
oh no, it's not. You know what? We're way over. We're like a half an hour over.
It's like and my phone coming and bugging me.
I know my phone just told me it's gonna die. So this is we should probably like, I'm sure everybody enjoyed us talking, but at the same time maybe we should have like had conversations before. but I really enjoy this. I love having a guest, and then I like everybody interacting. Actually, before you go, let's just make sure that we didn't miss any comments. No, I don't think we did. So everyone's just listening to us ramble. But I love this. You can be my guest whenever you want, and if you ever have time with your 6 kids and you want to chat again, then just let me know. And keep posting your inspirational things. Keep being you, because Salila is absolutely right. I know I can be those. I'm not trying to be those things. I just, like I said, I've worked on myself so much that I am that. I exude that, and I want to share that with people because I know they can get there too. But you are that for me, what I am for other people. So thank you. You're working out. Your inspiration, like all of it. Just keep being you and sharing. And even when you have a bad day, know that I'm there. That's the kind of person I am. Like, you can like shout at me, yell at me, just break down anything you need. I will be there. But keep being you on the good days too.
Exactly. Now I see you as a friend and not just this girl on Facebook, right?
Yeah. So Leila was right putting us in contact, and I'm really glad that she did. And Hazel, my eyes are Hazel as well. So, well, they're like green with a blue ring around them with the rust color. So they're not really Hazel, but they are. I think they were supposed to be, but they never, I don't know. So they're weird, but yeah, so I love the name Hazel as well.
Perfect. All right, we'll keep in touch, and we'll probably do it again.
Okay, have a good day.
Okay, take care.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry that it was so long. Hope you enjoyed it. And like I said, I hope I do let my guests speak enough, and that I don't just take over the whole conversation. I hope people understand more now with my identity crisis as well. But I think I've come to terms with it. I think I figured it out now, that is what Canadian is. And that it doesn't matter what my ancestral heritage is. It doesn't matter what my cultural influences where I grew up are. What Canadian is, what nationality I am, who I am is Canadian, which is a little piece of everywhere in the world all put together. So I am myself a cultural mosaic. And I wouldn't change it for the World Heritage Days. Like I said, those days at school when everybody's bringing in food from their countries, and we know it now because you can go to all these different restaurants of different, foods from different places in the world, Indian, Mexican, like whatever you want. But back then, that was so different to taste food from different places. And it was one of my favorite days at school. So what we learned, just love each other, treat each other like no matter where you go in the world, even visiting, just love each other like it is your family, because we're all going through shit and we're all going through good things, and all we want is to be loved, to have our families, to have our friends, to have our food, our good food, and to feel safe in our beds at night. So Mom says it's been nice. Bye. Love you. Thank you, Mom. I'm glad for everybody who tuned in, who enjoyed this, or if you're going to enjoy this later, watching it later. I'm so happy to have had a guest again, and what a great way to start my guests again. I didn't get to any of the questions, but we did learn lots about her, and I'm sure we can have her again another time. So, cheers. And we will see you next Sunday. So today's 17th, 24. I don't know what I have planned, but I'll see if I can get a guest. And enjoy your gardening and enjoy summer, because before you know it, it's going to be gone. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye.